Yeah, so he's got ideas. Saturn problems might be because of Saturn opposing Mercury, creating all sorts of problems relating to communication and focus, forgetfulness, carelessness, and poor math skills. Yeah, so like there's the caution. You see the caution with the Mercury. Expect that. I don't know what it was, but we expected it. But there's also that's just the aspects. It's not as important as the Mercury in Pisces itself in the sixth house. The need is something he believes in, something mystical, something he believes in. Is really important in spite of the other talking. When he talks himself out of it, he'll get sick. High school finished, moved back home. Starts studying again. Admission to architecture school. Architecture school, that's not bad. That fits the Aquarius to build something, design something, build something. That would be good. Graduated, job begins. Okay. Then he had a knee accident. A knee accident, that's the Aquarius. Rules the ankles. Capricorn's the ankles, the knees, and Aquarius is the ankles. But his accident prone, the Mars, Uranus, and the Sun in the fifth. The Mercury isn't tied into the square, but it's close enough. But he has the accident proneness to begin with. Falls in love with boss, then quits job, falls into depression. So see, he's working for someone, he likes them, he starts like, and he starts getting creative and liking them too. And when he starts liking them too much, more than they like him, then it becomes a problem because he's caring more than just the functioning. Lots of people got this. It's not a big deal. It's a unique, seemingly imbalance. Gets it. Okay. Torn ligament repair surgery gets done. Admission to master's program in the USA. So he's going from Pakistan to the USA, moves to New York, starts the master program and completes it. That's great. Like I said, he's smart, really intelligent. And they need to be good at something, to make something. So if they're making something, building things, that's good. 2008 Saturn return. Okay, we'll look around this again. Going to his times begin as a student, joblessness starts, fired frequently for not showing up at time. We expect the Uranus Mars to have disruptions around jobs. So temperamental things, walk off, get fired. We expect those things to happen. Temporary living with uncle dies. Works as a site supervisor for a construction company. Met schoolmate, started meeting again, moved to Canada, and so that was 2008. So having power struggle with schoolmate, relationship ends in a fight. So as soon as there's restrictions on him, like he's a planner and he's on go to respond to other people, but as soon as someone backs off, there's going to be a fight. It's going to be unfair who's doing what. Night shift starts for a security company, starts night shifts for a security company, gets in depression, body cycle changes, gets sick. Okay, so yeah, he's getting sick. He's not working. Look what he is, a really educated, intelligent person who's not getting supported around him. Is not fitting into the system. Doctors diagnose psychosomatic disorder, medication continues. So you got medication for his depression. That's the Saturn Mercury is the depression. It's inherently in him, but I'm not sure. I mean, yes, perhaps the medication could solve some of that, but not as much as writing a book or getting something. It's just like he knows he may not fit into the system, but he probably could design some special way of building something or making something that would help the masses to solve pollution or fix things. He could have great ideas and he published it. It could get known, but not by the support of the system. Okay, so starts getting confidence, see his heroes in actions, dreams to be a rock star, takes singing lessons, meets girl singer, then gets fired from their job, met her a few times, and it was over. So that's 2013. So he started going to music. I can see the musician easily there. You know, the idea of the rock star, here I am. And yet when he starts caring for someone, he's almost too serious and they pull away. And then he feels broken around it. He's a piano teacher, he's an astrologer, for healing, gets Reiki certified. So he starts moving towards healing skills. That's really good for him. Moved back to Pakistan after diaspora of 10 years, start living with parents, mistake, period of joblessness kicks in again, start working as an instructor in architectural school. Kids start to like the weird side of me, jack of all trades with in-depth knowledge. Yeah, so he comes back, he goes back home, he's feeling insecure, he gets a straight job, and not exactly fitting into that. You know, his ability, like, so starts composing old written songs. This lady constantly gives offers for marriage, which he refused. Power struggle. So he didn't want to be married. And then went to Thailand, Malaysia, Japan, Dubai for a trip. So 2018, travels to Turkey, Georgia, Ukraine, Armenia, Toronto. He met me. Asked questions, go to Astrology, comes back. Yeah, when he met me, he wanted to know if he should finish his songs or complete. Well, I said, by all means, you have to do your songs and get the CD and that made. So he's working on that. PhD leader cheats on me, going out with a guy I recruited, so getting into possibly worse relationship depression because I meet them both every day. So he's working in a place, he wants to do something, he's not paying attention to. He's hurt. He's caught in that pattern of rejection, not being accepted. It's there. It's too easy to fall into that. But that very thing is giving them rocket fuel for his intelligence and ideas. So it's supposed to take it and move it towards creative things, design, doing his own thing anyways. And his trying to fit in with someone's got to come in align with him. And it's not easy because of the Pluto Venus. It's difficult to get close. And because you get close and then you can get hurt. Then why? So, okay, this is his basic timeline. You got to see how it fits to the chart. So you can see how that brought in things out of the chart. You can see the creative side wanting to work if it's not seemingly practical, but the other jobs are depressing him. He's feeling, well, if I just had a woman and a family, that would solve everything. It's not necessarily solve it. It wouldn't solve it. It would bring in it would just transform the struggles in another way. He's got to find a way to be creative and express his ideas and write his book and get something accomplished. The Mercury rules the midheaven. He's got to do something below the horizon creative with his skills. And once he has that, he puts it out independently, then he's a little more free. So whenever he goes looking to the past, the moon, Jupiter comes in, right and wrong understandings. He can get lazy and it gets more complicated. Okay, so here's his questions. And then we'll go into the transits. I'm going to be for next February. It seems like I'm close, almost always there in midlife crisis. Saturn, Pluto, Uranus are all close to square the opposite point from the natal. It seems like the next 5 years are going to be really tough because they've not got married in time. So no kid will be no kid. What will be the remedies to walk through these years? Okay, so he's feeling this puzzle. I'm not fitting into the normal family home situations. There's blocks. How come? Well, how am I going to live for? There's his Jupiter asking. That puzzle. You work hard for a family. If you don't have the family, what are you going to work for? But if he had an idea or a vision, something that would change the world, like fix things, he would be supercharged and would do it. So Saturn, Pluto, heart aspects to my natal Venus. Relationships have always been a problem. Pluto and Libra in the ascendant, first house, creates a lot of power struggles and fears when I meet women, girls, especially when some of them have a strong Venus, I get nervous. The remedies for a Pluto Venus is a fear of love, a fear of beauty, but he's motivated by it. So this gets solved by music, by playing music, by maybe he's playing guitar, maybe he needs to take singing lessons to loosen up the fear of singing. He can't have sing. And Pluto blocks up the Venus and the throat, and even that might even be part of how he gets his colds and his sickness. But I think if he knows the music, if he learned to sing, even moderately, and he overcome the fear of it, it would have a huge effect on his chart. So whether it's singing professionally or singing in a choir, I would be pushing to get the singing lessons or to add the artistic side more. But the singing specifically would get past this point of you can't half sing. You have to either put it out or not. If you're doubting it, you're not singing. Let's see if he's not playing. As far as which generation I belong to, it seems like I have to memorize their times in houses to know the historical developments. This applies more to mundane astrology. I think most people think it relates to Pluto. He knows some astrology. He's studying astrology, and he knew he knew the Indian astrology, and it's a bit of a challenge in the difference. I never had a stable relationship, all short and painful. Is it because the malefic star actually close to my descendant? If so, what do I do? No, it's not because of the star. The star has energy, but it's not, that's 10% energy. That's not, we've talked on the main complexes here, how you care so much, but you're so sensitive to rejection, and it's someone else coming into this with thinking, oh, I'm going to have to get all this extra attention. I have to do this. I can't just be free and play. So you would have trouble with someone being a free spirit around you. So someone wants to come in, they would look like they're coming into chains or into commitments that are too strong. This can be fixed, but you have to get some of these commitments going so you're not becoming, the worries make it like a chain or a smothering thing for a person coming in. So if you're living busy and happy and you're playing music or you're doing some things you want to be doing, it takes away that, and then someone comes in. But whether you're fitting into traditional situation, you may not. So, okay, now I'm saying that looking for, we looked at the chart, because what happens has to happen from the chart. Now we see the timing and we start to see the mechanics of how this comes around. Everybody's got puzzles. We all have our loans, we all have our challenges, we all have all the planets somewhere. They just pile up in different ways. So here we sensed it, the difficult thing, but when he explained his history, it really came in on these issues. He's very capable, but why bother if no one cares, and how come no one's there? And what am I doing? And but why should I bother if no one cares? Why should anyone care if you don't bother? At the same time, if caring for you means you're going to smother the person with your worries and your care and your concern, they come in, they have to be the one taking care of that. It's adding too much of an expectation on them. So he has to learn how to play, like how to remove anger, frustration, impatience. That's why something like yoga or martial, Tai Chi or yoga would work really well to add a calm to his chart. Because the sun's down in this feeling quadrant, that's the skill quadrant. He needs to add skills where he can be physically active and mentally inspired and working to not pay attention to all the dark side of things. And if someone just encouraged him a little bit, boy, that would be so easy. So he needs to be around people of like mind and encouragement. So learning astrology, I mean, astrologers can be just as separate from each other, but when you're around people, you can talk around similar things. That allows that understanding rapport, which is a very good supportive thing. Okay, let's look at his Saturn. Now I need to see his chart here. I'll make this a little smaller. Okay, so let's see here. And I'll make this one just a little smaller so that I can keep these questions and his history somewhat in the beginnings of this. So it's just seeing, okay, here's ascendant, here's over on the Saturn graph is over on the right, because on these Saturn graphs, the signs are locked in, and then we put the houses in. So you see the below the horizon on the upper half of the chart. So you see his angles, Saturn. So Saturn is over on the right in Virgo, 79 when he's born. Then it goes into his descent, it hits his descendants. He was sick in the early part years of his life. That was Saturn going to the 12th house, first house. Then it wasn't until the first thing he puts in is 94. Okay, 94, he starts listening to rock music and start doing teenage things. That's the Saturn conjuncting his sun, 93, 94. He starts getting some confidence about his creative things. But what else did he say here? Didn't get good grades, moved with dad to other city, estranged from home, separated from mom, slept with dad. Like the family had, like his aloneness that he's feeling, the complex that we see was what was happening between his parents and the house that he was born in. So even then, his father took him away from his mom. So like those are difficult things to be trying to study and get through high school with. So